Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be reviewing something that was just released. I kind of swore to myself that I wouldn't be buying any more palettes for a while from this company, not because they're a bad company, but because I've had bad luck because of my really oily skin, and that is Too Faced. Yes, I broke and got the Just Peachy Mattes eyeshadow collection that was just released, along with the bronzer and a few of the lipsticks that were also released. So it's not that I don't love Too Faced. Here's the thing. I really love their lip products. I have a few of them and they work really well for me. I have a couple of their blushes and they work really well for me. The problem I have is with the eyeshadows. For whatever reason, the formula just does not work for me. They don't wear well, and that's the problem that I've had the last several palettes that I bought from them, is that there usually is a wear time of 3 to 4 hours before they just start disappearing or becoming oily, and that's after I've prepped my eyes with a couple primers and powders trying to stop it. And I don't know if other people have that problem. I do. It's just been an issue, and so one of the reasons why I was kind of stepping away from buying the Too Faced palettes for a while, just because it gets frustrating. Now, not everyone may have that problem, but another problem that I was having was that the pigmentation wasn't necessarily as much as I would like. And also, there was a problem with blending, where if you blend it too much, it would go away to nothing, and then you'd have to start all over, or the colors would start blending together, and it would get a little bit frustrating. So I was going to take a break and say, you know what, no mas. But I ended up caving, and I did end up picking this up. So what I'm going to be doing is, because I did wear every single one of these colors, I'm kind of trying to move away from first impressions. There's nothing wrong with first impressions, but the problem is people are like, it's great, and then you don't know about wear time and the other particulars about a product. So I'm a little bit late to the game putting this up, but the reason is because I wanted to try every single one of these shadows to let you know how I felt about them and how they wore, and I'll be putting to the side the grade that I'm going to give them, along with the breakdowns of how they got that grade. It's something new that I'm doing. I'm still trying to build this channel, understand it a little bit, so that's how we're going to do this. So on to the palette. So here it is. This is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes, and it's actually really nice. They're moving away from their metal tins with these a little bit, and I know some people may be disappointed with this. They've gone to the cardboard, the thicker cardboard ones, which I actually didn't mind. I know some people did. They found them to be not as streamlined, but for me, I actually liked them because when you're done with it, you can recycle it. I know, and Hippie Binky is coming out. So, I try to recycle as much as possible. And with these, but it's very nice. It's very streamlined. It is plastic. Some people may not like that it's plastic. I actually don't mind. So my philosophy is, as long as the shadows work well, whatever. I'm not too picky about the packaging. Though, really nice packaging is going to grab you. I think it's really nice. What I do like about it is that it's moving away from the kind of childlike imagery of the Happy Peach. I know some people like it. For me, to me, it kind of puts it in a realm of almost child makeup, like my first palette. So I like that this looks a little bit more adult. That's just my personal preference. You may disagree. What I did notice with this whole line is that this one doesn't have it, but they're adding the little peach logo here. It's kind of cute. You'll see it throughout the collection, which is nice. So here we go. Here is the palette. Now you get a little booklet in there, of course, I'm sure you know, with the eye looks, telling you how to create some beautiful looks with this. So that's always really handy. Keep that right there. So here you go. There's 12 matte shades. And one of the selling points for why I picked this up was because with the last peach palette, I ended up getting it as a gift from a friend, so I did not end up paying for it. I rarely use the original peach palette, and part of it is, as you can see, I'm a cool tone girl, and these colors aren't necessarily the most flattering on me. It tends to wash me out a little bit, I feel at least, because I am a cool tone. And part of it was I felt that the original palette had too many shimmers, and the only really matte shades they had were really dark. And I don't tend to use shimmers that much across the eye. I like to use mattes and then do a pop of shimmer, but that's just my preference. So I didn't really see myself gravitating too much to that palette. So what I liked about this was that this matte one ended up making the original palette more usable for someone like me. So I've been using them together and it actually works really well. I actually started using it again. Actually using it, because I never really wore it that often, only a couple times, and they're just not normally my color range, and with the lack of the mattes, I just didn't really find it usable. So these are a really nice range of peachy colors and browns and like warm reddish brown tones. So yes, if you're a cool tone girl, this is a very warm palette. You know this, it's peach, you know? So, you know, for $49, you may be going, I don't know if this is worth it. And fair enough. Also, there's so many palettes like this right now that, you know, you may be over it. And that's cool too. So there's 12 of these. And again, for $49, there's only 12 shadows. So that may be a big turnoff for some people too. These are bigger pans than the past ones, so I can understand why. It's not really an issue for me, but I can see how it could be for some. So what I am going to do is I'm going to show a live swatch to this side, but I'm going to do a quick one here just so you can see it. And these are the lightest ones. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I have always had a problem with the lighter colors with Too Faced, and it's still a problem with these light ones here. As you can see, they're not really showing up. Now, part of it is I have really light skin, but even so, they're just not really showing up. And if it was really an opaque color, they'd be showing up just a little bit more. So I didn't feel, I mean, part of it is that they are matching my skin tone, but I just found them to kind of, when I use them, just wipe away to nothing. Because I have other whites or lighter colors that I can put on my lid, and they do perform better than this one. So on to the next row. Here we are. Nice pops of color there. No complaints. Goes on really nicely. You can see the really, really pretty peachy colors. That's what you're here for. This is what you're getting. So on to the third row. And lastly, on to the fourth row. These are the darker mattes of the collection. Oh, I'm running out of room, so let's do them up here. Why not? There you go. So that is the full swatch of all these 12 beauties. So you can see the lights are really, really light. They really are not showing up on my skin tone. As I said, I don't feel like they performed these two as well as I would like. As I said, when I use other white colors from other collections, they'll completely cover up my eye. These are very transparent, so I'm going to be honest. This row was probably the weakest. Not that Peaches and Cream was bad. It wasn't. It actually worked really well. So I would say it's just these two light cream colors. They just didn't perform as well as I would like. I can't even really on the rating say how blendable they were or how long they lasted because they just didn't show up to begin with. If you have a darker complexion, this may not be the problem. But for me, it was really hard to gauge. I did prep my eye with them basically every time I used it as just a nice foundation. Also, when I wanted to blend some colors in, sometimes I would use it at the top of the eye to blend out the crease color a little. It seemed to work okay, but for the most part, I do feel the formulation on the lighter color still needs a little bit of work, but whatever. You know, some people may not have that problem. Again, maybe it's my skin tone. What I will say is that in the past couple palettes, Too Faced has been having a problem with pigmentation, and I just want to point out it has been fixed. Yay, Too Faced! I just want to say, if anyone's watching this from the company, thumbs up. And I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with this. It's like the pigmentation issue has been fixed. It really has been, except for the lighter whites, but the rest of it, yes. Now here's the thing, sometimes palettes will swatch well, but do they actually work well on the eye? And I can honestly say yes. Yes, this is a good palette. And if you've watched some of my other reviews on Too Faced, there's always been kind of the same issues, and this is not the case with this. I am so happy with this. I wish I was a little bit more warm toned so I could pull it off a little bit better, but that's okay, because even still, for a nice pop of color with something like this that I'm wearing today and you want to kind of match up with it, it is perfect, and it really is quite beautiful. When you do put it on the eye, I'm going to be honest, it does work well. I mean, some work better than others, but it doesn't blend out like a couple of the last palettes have. It really is blendable and the color stays. So, and I feel when you blend a couple colors together, they don't blend together in that weird brown color or blend away. That's not the case this time. They blend together beautifully. I'm thrilled. I actually am. I think I was kind of surprised because I've had so many problems with the past couple palettes that when I started using this last week, I was shocked by it. I was like, this is really working, you know? And I was thrilled. I'm like, this is Too Faced? So thumbs up, big thumbs up. The formula is just wonderful. There is a little bit of fallout when you use it, but it really isn't as bad as past palettes. Actually, I feel like, yes, there is some fallout, but I wasn't mad at it. You know, it wasn't that bad. It didn't get into the other colors and mess them up. You know, it was pretty standard. So I was pretty happy with it. And the blendability was fantastic. So I was thrilled with this. As for the scent, they've moved away from the peachy kind of toy smell that they had, and maybe I'm the only one who felt that, but it kind of reminded me of like when you're a kid and you had like a peach toy or something that had a certain scent to it. That's what the peach collection smelled like to me. It just was artificial. This is more of like a vanilla flavor and fig. Yeah, they're saying they're trying to infuse cream and a fig scent to it rather than that scent. And I think that is a smart idea because it smells wonderful. It's this beautiful, almost like vanilla fig scent. It's amazing. And the thing is, it's not overpowering. So once you put it on your eye, you don't really smell it like you did with the peaches. If you put your nose close to it, obviously you're going to smell it. But even from here, I don't really smell it that much. It's not that cloying. So for those who don't like the scents, this may be better for you than the past palette. But if you get irritated by the scents on your skin, there is a scent. And so you may not be able to use this if you're allergic to things like this. But I think it's really wonderful. You can do a lot of great eye looks with this, but you know, a lot of the colors are very similar. So it's not going to be too many different bold looks. You know, a lot of the colors are very similar. So it's going to be kind of limited with the different looks that you could do. But if you bring in your original peach palette, the looks are going to be endless. So I absolutely love this. It just makes the other palette so much more usable. What I do like is all of these colors are warm except for chocolate dipped. And this, for you cool tone girls, is your saving grace. Because what I found is if I used some of these pops of these really warm colors, I could bring in chocolate dipped and it would save the day a little bit so it wasn't so warm, you know, where it's like, whoa, you know. So it really helped me out and it's going to help you out too. So very smart move on Too Faced part to put this here. It really was smart because it just made it more wearable for somebody who is not a warm tone. So I just want to say a big thumbs up to this palette. I think it performed really well. If Too Faced last couple palettes have scared you off due to issues with the formula, give this a try. So next is probably the most intriguing product of the collection for me, and I couldn't say no, even though I don't know if I could justify spending $30 on a bronzer when with this skin tone, nobody's believing that bronzer, but whatever. So I couldn't say no. I know, it's pretty weak. And this is it, you know, going along with it's the Sweetie Pie going along with the Too Faced theme here. And here it is. There it is, my friends. And the thing is, if you look, I kept some of the gold there. I've been working on the top. I don't know why. I just kind of like that gold there and I wasn't ready to let it go. So I did half and half. So what I like about this bronzer though is that it has a little bit of pink in there. It is warm toned, you know, again, if you're tanning or going for a bronze look, it is going to be a little bit more warm tone. So this matches it. And what I like about it is it warms it up really nicely and beautifully with the, as you can see, the like blush underneath. It's just fabulous. It was just a smart idea. I really freaking love this. I do. I didn't want to, I'm like, what am I going to do? I really don't use bronzer. I'm not a bronzer type of person. And yes, it is warm toned, but it's just fabulous. So I'm just going to put this across my finger like this. You can kind of see it there. Put it right here. There you go. Now, what I like about this when you look at it is it's not an orange color. So you're not going to put this on and go, that looks really orange. You don't want to look like a Cheeto. You don't want to do that. And I think that's why I stay away from a lot of bronzers, is because that's what ends up happening is I just end up looking like an Oompa Loompa, and that's not a look I want. It's very difficult with my skin tone, and that's not the issue with this. It goes on in a really nice natural look. Now, this is darker than I would normally go in, but I really went into it. So what I like about this is this builds up really nicely. Especially for you light tone girls. When I first got this, I was nervous because I'm like, can I pull this off? That's really dark, but it actually is not that dark. It really is not. It works really well, and you can build it up really nicely. What I will say is that, so this was me really digging into it. And if I spread it out like this, it looks a lot more natural, still a little bit too dark for me, but what I will say is that if you have a deeper complexion, this may not work for you, and you may find frustration with this because that was me digging in hard. So I would say the cutoff would probably be a medium complexion, and then after that you're just going to find yourself really frustrated. I wish the Too Faced had come out with another for, darker complexions, because this is really cute, but I just find that it may be a little bit frustrating. So, but for you lighter skin tone girls out there like myself, you're going to be surprised because this is going to work really well. Next up are the lipsticks of the collection. I only picked up 3 of them. Some of the colors I really wanted are still coming soon, so I think some of them were caught up in production and didn't make it out into the market yet, which was disappointing because I really wanted a few of these colors. So I hope to pick them up later, but yeah, I only picked up 3 that I felt would work for me out of the collection. And I really like these. They're very sturdy. They will cost you $21 a piece. They are extremely sturdy, very heavy. And what I like about it is when you put a lipstick down, they roll, but because of this embossed peach, it stops it. So it stops on the counter, and it's not going to roll off and disappear anywhere, which I really liked. And it has the streamlined Too Faced in gold and the little embossed peach right there. Very cute. Has the color on top and Sex on the Peach. That's the name of this color. Sex on the Peach. That's unique. I don't know how many people can brag about that. Put that on the bucket list. Yeah, so so that is what I'm wearing today, and it's pretty similar to the cap on top, but I usually don't trust those too much because it looks a little bit more warm. I mean, it is definitely a warm tone, as you can see. Really, really pretty color. I don't know if it's the most flattering on me, but I absolutely loved it, so I didn't care. I am wearing it today, so this is what it looks like, but it's very close. It's really nice, very moisturizing. Now, these are advertised as matte lipsticks, and they are, but they're still transfer. So when you put it on, it's a lot more moisturizing, and then when some time passes, it does dry down, but it is still very much a lipstick. It's not matte. So just to show you some transfer, it's still there. You can most definitely see there is transfer from this. And I've been wearing it for probably about a good 40 minutes. So just know that it's not matte. I think it's a matte look without the drying. And I think a lot of people who have a hard time wearing matte lipsticks, they just don't like them, are gonna like these because they're very moisturizing. I do find them to be moisturizing. I don't find it to be dry on the lips. So if you want that matte look without the matte feel, I think Too Faced created a huge winner with these, and I think you're gonna like them. But just know there is going to be transfer because these aren't non-transferable matte. They don't fully go down dry matte. As long as you know that it's more the look, you're gonna do well. If you're looking for matte, you're gonna be a little bit disappointed, but go into it knowing that. The scent is a lot stronger than the other products. It is that same kind of figgy vanilla scent. I love it. That's one of the selling points of these to me, is I actually really like it because, again, it doesn't smell like that chemical smell. It actually smells very natural. It's a huge selling point for me. I love the scent of these. Freaking love them. So yeah, I love them. And they're very comfortable. I've worn a couple of them. The wear time's pretty good. Because it isn't a non-transferable matte, they do wear down, but they don't necessarily wear down that quickly, which I liked. It actually takes a little bit of time, and the way that it wears down, it doesn't go from the middle out like happens with a lot of matte lipsticks. It actually does it in a very nice way where it's across the board of the lip, basically, where the whole lip goes down to the same color, and it looks very wearable, very nice, and it does last a long time. It really does. It lasts longer than most regular lipsticks. I didn't really have to do too much of a touch-up until like 5-6 hours in, and that's not really bad. That's with drinking and eating during the day and just doing my normal thing. So actually, I wasn't too upset about it, you know, but it isn't necessarily a long wear. But even within those 5 or 6 hours, it still looked really wearable and quite nice. It wasn't like it completely wore away to nothing, but it did get, you know, lighter, a few shades lighter, but that didn't bug me. I really think it wore down beautifully. So what I do love about this too is that, just look at this. Look at the little peaches there. It's just so cute. And I already wore it off, but on the tip it had a TF for Too Faced on the tip there. I just really loved it. And I think the shape is really great for putting on lipstick. I'm running out of room here, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this here just so you can kind of see it. But that's what the color kind of looks like. You know, I know it's kind of difficult, but there you go. Because I want to keep the whole collection here, so we're putting it over my bony hands. But there you go. So I also got 2 other colors that I'm going to try here. I'm going to swatch them and put them on. One of them is Stop Traffic, and the other one is Drunk Dial. They're really nice vampy colors, so if you are looking for that, this is the perfect time of year, and like I said, the formula is really comfortable. So what I'm going to do is swatch these and then try them on the lip. Again, I just look at the design of these. Little peaches on the side. The scent's amazing. Ugh. So there we go. That is Stop Traffic. Just a beautiful color. And the thing is, what I like is that there's a lot of, with the lipsticks, there's a lot of cool tones, neutral tones, and warm tones. It's not just all warm tones, and it goes across the board from very neutral or very natural to very vampy. Okay, so this is Stop Traffic. What a great color, right? I love this color. I love it. Also, I think that this color would work well on a range of the lighter skin tones to the darker skin tones to everything in between. You know, it's just absolutely beautiful. I think it's just universally flattering. That's one of the reasons why I picked it up. And the thing is, it's not like overly bright red. I mean, yes, it's bright, it's vampy, but it's not to the point where it's that fire engine red where everybody's gonna take notice. This is very wearable, which I think a lot of people will appreciate. The next color is Drunk Dial. Now this is just one of those beautiful berry type colors that if you watch my channel, you know I absolutely adore. I just can't get enough of these, and this is just gorgeous. You know, at first I thought it was gonna be a little bit too purpley, but it actually isn't. It's actually quite nice and very wearable. So, oops, there you go. Yes, it is a little bit purpley, but it's like a purple with berry, which makes it more wearable. Because I know sometimes there's some lipsticks that are very purple, and it can be a little bit jarring, or some people are a little bit intimidated by those, and this is not the case. It's extremely wearable. Yes, this is Drunk Dial. I absolutely love it. I love it. First off, the smell is just so amazing, like I said, but for some people it is pretty strong and it doesn't disappear quickly. So I can see how some people would find it to be very cloying. So if you're really sensitive to smells, this guy may be a bit much for you, but I love it. I think it's just such a beautiful scent. I could roll my body in this scent all day long. These are so comfortable and they just go on like a dream. I think these are a huge hit. I hope this stays in the regular line for Too Faced, and I hope that they bring in more colors over time, because this is just 100% win. I love this collection. I really do. And the thing is, you know, I don't want to be one of those people going, rah, yeah, you know, who love Too Faced all the time. And it is a good company. It's just that the last couple palettes and quality control over the last year has been a little bit questionable, but more so for the eyeshadow palettes, but I feel like this one is just amazing. And I don't say that too often. I do want to point out also, because Too Faced doesn't tend to wear well on me, at least the eyeshadows. These eyeshadows, they lasted a long time for me. Actually, they still look good by the end of the day. So whatever they did to the formula, they fixed the problems that were there before. So I really do think it's worth going into and picking up, because they lasted. The mattes lasted all day for me. And, you know, I know how it worked for me in the past. So I'd keep looking in the mirror, you know, and going, oh, it's still there and it still looks good, you know? So I am so pleased with this collection. I really am. And I hope they keep it up to these standards, because the packaging's great, the quality's great, smiles everywhere. So I am so pleased with this collection. You know, let me know if you picked up anything from it, or if you're planning on doing it, or your thoughts about it, because I'm curious. Because, you know, Too Faced has been very polarizing lately. So, you know, I know some people are over it and other people are like, yeah. You know, some people are over the peach theme. I can see why, but honestly, I'm okay with it. And this is coming from a cool tone girl. I am so pleased with these items. I'm curious to see what else Too Faced is going to be putting out, and get these lipsticks out, man. So big thumbs up to this collection. I am quite happy. So until next time, have a fabulous day. Bye.